Our #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Urban Renewal giving back to those who are in need on Grand Bahama through the organization's lunch program. Senator the Honorable Jasmine Turner Darius says hot lunch is provided for residents daily at 12 noon at the 5 centers across Grand Bahama.
Program is geared towards helping those that are in need, particularly the children, but of course it's on a first come first serve basis. So in Grand Bahama and in Bimini there's 600 hot lunches per day in total distributing. We would like for it to increase, but as much as we have and we can distribute, this is our help to try and assist the residents and those in need during this economic crisis.
And she says it is a blessing to give back to those in need.
Truly, it is it's a tag team effort because when you see the lunches are given out and distributed in less than 10 minutes, you know that there is a need and there's a great demand. And to see the smiles on the person's faces, some persons literally wait here from morning for the lunches. And so, it is a real service to the community, and you are able to see people leave, with a nice smile, being able to feed themselves and possibly the families.
Members of a local organization continuing to do their part during this COVID-19 pandemic. Reach Out Youth Ministry is distributing a number of care packages to members of a vital industry. Tonight, recipients are expressing their appreciation for this kind gesture. Italia Hall reports.
It is an initiative to give back to those that need it most. President of Reach Out Youth Ministries, Dudley Sade, says it is an historic day for the organization as the feeding program name was officially renamed to the Reach Out Touch Feeding Program. He says he was divinely inspired to reach out to cab drivers.
A lot of people forgotten the cab drivers. So today we are able to help about 200 cab drivers with care packages. There's mackerel in there, there's corned beef, hurricane relief packages. But today we want to put a little smile on their faces. It's been so long and hard on them. So with our renaming our organization, I'm a cab driver, former cab driver, so today it does my heart good to help them. It's been difficult for everybody since COVID-19.
President of the Grand Bahama Taxi Union, Harold Curry, says the taxi drivers are grateful as they are facing challenges.
Some of our drivers was out of jobs and out of business from not only March. You can take us back as far as September 2nd, because a lot of the drivers, what happened from September 2nd, we had Hurricane Dorian. A lot of them lose their houses, they lose their cars, and they were out of business from hurricane. And out of the hurricane, they went straight into this pandemic for another almost a year again. And we don't know when we're going to be back to normalcy.
Member of the Grand Bahama Taxi Union, Ricardo Richardson, says the gesture is something that they really appreciate.
So every little income, everything helps. It's very good. And we would really like to thank Mr. Dudley Sade and the Outreach Ministries. This is very, very good, what he's doing for the community, the taxi drivers, and everybody overall. Italia
Hall, ZNS Network News.
Finally, news this evening, a distraught husband is speaking out as he mourns the death of his wife. In this report, he alleges that his wife was denied urgent medical care prior to her death. Ramiko Knowles has the details.
She was my Bonnie as a Clyde, but definitely was my world.
They vowed to love each other until death. But Jermaine Williams never thought that day would come so soon.
August 8, 2020, she wake up one morning and said, Jermaine, she didn't feel too good. She said, son, I want a stomach. I said, anyway, well, I make some, drinking some tea, then lay back down, and you don't feel much better between now and then, I'll take her to the hospital. So she lay back down around 3 o'clock. She said, baby, I still don't feel good. So until I get dressed, I will take her to the hospital.
His wife, Tiffany Williams was hospitalized for 2 days and administered a COVID-19 test. She was discharged on August 10th with a referral letter to visit the outpatient clinic at Paris Plaza and told to quarantine for 14 days. According to Jim, health officials at the clinic received the letter and advised that they would call to arrange an appointment. He says that never happened. 5 days later, she was hospitalized again due to the same complications.
She ended back on the hospital back on the 15th or the 16th of the same week. And she got discharged the following Monday. Before she got discharged, they tell her she was COVID-19 negative. So she tell them, give me a call because I was stressing out and I was worried that she'd have COVID-19 and I working amongst people that I would spread the deadly virus. So when the nurse called me, she came and said, well, that's when you know that your wife Tiffany is COVID negative. So I said, well, baby, I said, Mom, well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Although discharged on August 17th, Tiffany continued to experience severe stomach pain. So Jim decided to seek help through a private facility. According to Jim, upon witnessing his wife's condition, the private facility declined their services. This was done even though they were informed that her test results were negative. The frustrated husband decided to take his ailing wife to Paris Plaza, where she was referred to days before to get a scan, but was told by a nurse that they were only assisting pregnant women and those experiencing heart complications. Running out of options, he pleaded.
I said, Miss, please help me to help my wife, because she's getting some pain. I don't know where the pain coming from. It's coming from my stomach. All I want was the scan. They left me dead in my eyes. They saw she can't help me.
After denial by both facilities, he returned home with his wife still experiencing health complications such as severe stomach pain and rapid breathing. On August 24th, things took a turn for the worst, and while out shopping for his family, he received a call from his son telling him to come home quickly. Mommy can't breathe or move. He rushed home and called emergency medical services.
I said, my name is Jermaine Williams. I call on behalf of my wife, Tiffany Williams. She's home with some severe pain in her stomach, so she can't breathe at all. I said, can you please send help for me? The lady asked me if my wife is a COVID patient. I said, Mom, she's not a patient. Can you please send an ambulance to me to help my wife? Because she can't sustain this pain.
He says he contacted EMS at 8:02 that morning. They arrived at 8:36 and left the Williams home to transport her to the hospital at 8:52. Moments later, Jim received a call telling him to come to the hospital immediately. When he arrived, he was told that his wife, Tiffany Williams, died at 9:01. In a letter addressed to the Minister of Health, he states that his heart is aching because his wife died and her illness was never properly treated or diagnosed. He says there were no efforts made to rectify the issue. He says he is scarred by the treatment they received from health officials, noting that everything was void of empathy, filled with bitter words, decorated with nonchalant attitude. It is his hope that the particulars of his story is enough for an investigation to be launched, so that no other family would have to experience losing a loved one in the manner he did.
When she died 9:01, why you coming 9:35? Tell me this. So to me, it ain't fair that my wife, how they treat my wife. I don't like it at all.
Tiffany Williams was 42 years old. She leaves behind 4 kids and a husband who loved her dearly. Rumiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Now, our ZNS News team reached out to the officials at the Public Hospitals Authority and the Ministry of Health for comment, but we were unsuccessful. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.